Oh, we live? Okay, well, I didn't mean to start. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to start, but oh well, we're here. What's up, everyone? It's your boy, the late Lord Haven. Back at it again with another live stream. It's been a while, and today, obviously, we're going to be breaking down the final House of the Dragon trailer. I love how I accidentally start the stream. I accidentally start it when I don't mean to, and it's on time. I'm finally on time. It's like dead on to the minute, to the second. Hell yes. Okay. So, the first part of this stream is going to be a non-spoilery breakdown. That meaning, non-book spoilers, right? So if you haven't read the book, you can stick for the first part of this stream. And then, once we reach the halfway point, I'm going to go, okay, let's go through the trailer again, but with book knowledge and some leak knowledge and stuff like that. Hello, Quinn. Everyone, if you haven't already, feel free to check out Quinn the GM's trailer breakdown live stream that he did before this one. So once you finish watching mine, check that one out. Quinn said, "I can't believe Entertainment Weekly released an image of you and me," shaking my head. Well, that's you in the back, is it? On the right, the one who's like huddled in his clothing, and up front, that's me and Alt Shift X, with the Chads leading the charge, leading the A Song of Ice and Fire charge, and that's Quinn in the back, sitting on the bench. Anyway, I love the font too. I was saying earlier, like, this should be the new, that top left, entertainment exclusive summer preview. That should be the new House of the Dragon font. Dun 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 dun, and it's just pink on yellow. Boom. Anyway, so while people are coming in, we will go through the pictures, the official promo pictures that were released on Entertainment Weekly. So, this one, we see our first picture of Cregan Stark. So this is the English actor Tom Taylor on the right, who's playing an age-accurate Cregan Stark. If you've seen art of Cregan Stark, including art in Fire and Blood itself, illustrated by Doug Wheatley, Cregan is often drawn as like a middle-aged man with a huge beard, when in actuality he's in his early 20s. In Season 1, Rhaenyra says that he is closer in age to Jace than to her, and she's early 30s, Jace is a teenager. So yes, age-accurate Cregan Stark. He's looking great. He's kind of got that Ned Stark hair. He's got the Stark sigil. He's got the brown leather that they seem to love in the show, and of course he has ice on his back, the big chunky ancestral Valyrian sword of House Stark. And then there's Jace, and as I've said before, he's looking more like Jon Snow than Jon Snow. Okay, this picture we've got Corlys Velaryon, dripped out. I know this is simple, but the characters displaying their heraldry on their chest is just so satisfying to me. It's just, I'm so glad they're doing that. But yes, he's still got his cane, so he's got the bandage around his neck, so he still hasn't fully recovered from when he was slashed in battle, fighting in the Stepstones in Season 1. Which was supposed to, actually, not to go on too much of a tangent, but that was supposed to be in Season 1. That was supposed to be a scene, like a battle scene where he gets slashed and he falls off the boat because he later gets a fever, right? But then I think they ran out of time because Season 1 was quite rushed. There was a lot to get through. But yeah, Corlys is not looking great. He's still recovering. And behind him, this bald gentleman, based on the casting, this is Adam of Hull. And obviously I'll talk more about Adam of Hull in the spoiler section, but for now I'll just say there's a character called Adam of Hull, and it's possible that they are in the town of Hull, which is on the island of Driftmark. And he will have an interesting role to play, as will his brother, Alan of Hull. Okay, next promo picture. They're not the best quality pictures, I do have to say. But this is Rhaenyra on Dragonstone, and she's watching over her two children by Daemon. So that would be Aegon and Viserys, because there aren't enough Aegons and Viseryses in this show. Here we have Aegon after 5 shots of after 5 Jaeger bomb shots. He's not looking great. Perhaps this could be Aegon receiving word of Lucerys' death and the war about to start, or more likely, That is, yes, I'm being corrected in the chat. That's Alan of Hull. You're absolutely correct. Yes, Adam of Hull, we've seen in a previous trailer where he has dreadlocks, and this is Alan of Hull, the bald guy is Alan of Hull. I got them mixed up. They're both of Hull. Their names begin with an A because George likes doing that. You can't blame me. So yes, as I was saying, Aegon, he's not looking great. If you've read the books, you may know that there's a certain event that may be leading him to look so distraught. But again, we'll talk about that in spoilers. And next up, in fact, I believe this is the penultimate promo picture before we jump into the trailer. I'm really teasing you guys. We have Alicent looking like my cat when I refuse to feed her in the morning. She's kind of just... Look at that glare. Look at that glare. She is not happy. That's my cat, Boos. My cat is called Boos. And in the morning when I'm like, okay, let me just get breakfast first, she'd be glaring at me like that. Anyway, there's Alicent, and Aemond is looking like Aemond. Looks like he's got new outfit this season. A dark green. He wore black last season, right? He's got some dark green. He's looking quite imperious. I feel like I may know the context of this shot, but again, that'll be for spoilers. And then finally, we have a behind-the-scenes shot, which appears to be taking place in some kind of inn or tavern. And if you remember the Green trailer that released a couple months ago, I can't remember. Where's the time gone? We saw Aegon... Oh, no, sorry. Not in the trailer. There were some behind-the-scenes videos that have been coming out, and one of them involved a quick shot of Aegon. It was like a shot behind the camera, right, the making of, and it showed Aegon with some of his friends drinking at a tavern, so this could be that scene. Some tavern in King's Landing. And there's the showrunner and head writer Ryan Condal, looking a bit out of place, looking like a nerd, just wandering around. He's a prop fiend apparently, so he's probably enjoying all of the tankards and so on. But anyway, that's not what you're here. You're here for the trailer itself. So let me turn the volume down and the captions on. And 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Oh, and before we begin, I will quickly say, like the video to help it spread. Subscribe if you're not already. I do animated Song of Ice and Fire videos, and I'll be doing House of the Dragon reviews and so on. And if you have anything interesting to say, or you just want me to say something dumb out loud, feel free to send me a super chat. It supports the channel, because this is my job. This isn't a hobby. I quit my job to do this, so I'd appreciate that a lot. But I'll still be checking the chat, of course. Shall we begin? Yeah, let's begin.
The Targaryen.
I don't have my headphones on, so I can't hear anything. I'm not sure why I did that. Let's try that again.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron.
So first off, we have the Iron Throne in the throne room of the Red Keep, completely empty, and this is Daemon walking in, right? Am I going crazy? That is Daemon. That's Daemon's gate. That's Daemon's hair. Why is Daemon in the throne room? Why is he in a big empty throne room? That doesn't really make sense. Because the last we saw him, he was on Dragonstone. So, is this a dream, a hallucination, a prophetic vision, perhaps? Not sure.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron Throne.
Unless it's Aemond, but I'm pretty sure that was Daemon.
Is not just a king or.
Yeah, and here, of course, we see the back of Cregan and Jace, so we saw the front of them, that promo picture, and we can see Ice in all its glory. So, at some point, Jace will go up north with Cregan, to meet Cregan Stark, to try and get House Stark and the North on Rhaenyra's side, because he was sent there at the end of Season 1. Excuse me, I bashed my desk. And for some reason, Cregan is taking Jace to the Wall. So maybe it's just a sort of generic tour of the North, like, you've come here, we're going to roll out the red carpet, you can have some northern delicacy, eat some snow, tuck into some wild, some northern stag or something, and we'll take you to the Wall, one of the classic sites. And Jace is like, yeah, okay, let's just get on with it, let's just, sign the paper, say you support my mother, blah, 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 and he's like, no, we got to check this place out next. He's like, oh, fine.
Or a queen.
So Alicent walking through a field. In a previous trailer, we saw a shot of her standing in front of a lake in her undergarments, looking sort of lost and forlorn. So this could be a lead up to that. This could be her walking through the field, going up to the river in the distance, and then stripping down. And what? Contemplating something? Is she having sort of, dark thoughts, suicidal tendencies, something like that? Quinn said some Sarah Snow, winky face. Sarah Snow. I'll talk a bit more about Sarah Snow in the spoiler section. But yeah, of course, the book Fire and Blood. So people have gone through this so many times. You know, there are all these different viewpoints and sources, and they're all contradicting each other. Blah blah blah. You know the deal. And there's, according to one source called Mushroom, there's an important character in the North called Sarah Snow, who's the bastard of Cregan Stark. Now, we haven't heard any casting announcement. We haven't seen her in any trailers. No idea if she's actually going to be there. The interviewer for the Entertainment Weekly article asks the writers about Sarah Snow, and I think it's Sarah Hess who responds by saying, you know, we don't have time to explore every detail, everything in, you know, every plot facet in extreme detail. So that sort of implies Sarah Snow won't be there, but it could just be an attempt to throw people off so that she's a surprise. But there we go. Ooh. Shots in close succession. So we got a crown falling. That's Viserys' crown. So is that Rhaenyra dropping it? Is it falling off her head? The background is hard to work out, but it almost looks like the Iron Throne. And I know I'm stretching a bit here, but those look like those spiky things in the back almost look like the swords, right? The swords of the Iron Throne. So Viserys' crown shouldn't be there because it's on Rhaenyra's head on Dragonstone. So it's possible that Daemon walking into the throne room by himself, where it's completely empty, and then a crown dropping to the floor, that could be a dream or a vision. Because there are lots of dreams and visions and prophecies and so on in A Song of Ice and Fire and Fire and Blood. And when Benioff and Weiss created Game of Thrones, they wanted to shy away from that aspect, from that angle, so we didn't get many visions. But maybe we'll start seeing them here. That would be cool. A dragon flying overhead. I believe that's that was in a previous shot. I believe that's Sea Smoke. People thought that was Sea Smoke, Laenor's dragon. Dragon eggs. So we know there's a bunch of dragon eggs lying about. Daemon in the last season, in the finale, he was giving a list, right, of all the dragons that had riders, all the dragons that didn't have riders, and all the wild dragons, and also eggs, a whole batch of eggs. So maybe they're desperately trying to hatch some to create some new fodder for the dragon army.
They are a protector of the realm.
So Rhaenyra walking dramatically. Here we have King's Landing. There's a big crowd. So what is this? Some sort of celebration? Is it rioting? Ooh, what was that shot? I've seen this only once before, actually. I should have prepared myself a bit better. A bunch of hands clasping for something, potentially some kind of riot. A dragon flying overhead.
Now I find myself in an impossible position.
Rhaenyra on Dragonstone looking at the sunset. There's a very beautiful shot. Probably contemplating her future. Yeah, someone brought up in the chat that the Viserys' crown dropping and clanging on the floor is the same colour palette as the shot of Daemon walking in at the start, so it must be the same. Well, not must be, but could be the same. My guess would be some kind of vision or something. So here's a shot that we've seen in quite a few trailers and teasers, actually. It's Aegon walking in with his posse.
All hail, King!
So, yes, there's Aegon with his drip. He's got the Conqueror's crown, and he's wearing green to rep the Hightower side of his family, and he has golden dragons on his chest. And in celebration of his golden dragon Sunfire. On the left we have his friend, and I'm not sure if the characters have been officially announced or the actors officially announced, but based on leaks, it's not a spoiler because these are not characters from the book, right? So it's not a spoiler. But apparently the guy on the left is Martin Rain. Apologies if you can hear the neighbour's dog barking. Martin Rain is on the left, and I believe he has red lions on his collar, which is a quite cool touch, because of course the sigil of House Rain is a red lion on white. To the right there is this chap, Leon Estamont, and behind them you can't quite see him. He's hiding there, the black guy in the back. That's going to be a character called Eddard Waters, or Ned Waters. So, looks like Aegon has been given a crew. He's been given a squad, a posse, to stroll into place and look cool. So I guess they want They want they probably wanted to give Aegon, give him some friends, give him more of a social life, so it's not just him in the council all the time. He's partying with his fuckboys, you know. It could be that these, well, I don't know whether they've always been in King's Landing or whether they've recently arrived at the outbreak of the war because they represent the different areas of Westeros that are currently sworn to Aegon. So, of course, we know the Lannisters are sworn to Aegon because there's a Lannister on the council. And so Martin Rain could be representing the Westerlands. On the right, we have Leon Estermont. House Estermont is from the Stormlands. And we know the Stormlands are supporting Aegon because Lord Boris Baratheon sided with him at the end of the last season. And then Eddard Waters. Waters is a bastard surname for those who live in those who were born and raised in the Crownlands. And what's a Crownland house with dark-skinned nobles? Well, in the show, it's the Velaryons. So it's possible that Eddard Waters is a Velaryon bastard. Maybe he's trying to claim Driftmark for himself, fulfilling the role of the Silent Five, who are characters in the books who are Vaemond Velaryon's children, I believe, and they're furious because they want Driftmark for themselves, because they think, Driftmark shouldn't fall to Rhaenyra's children because they're bastards. They're not true Velaryon blood. So Eddard Waters could be Vaemond's bastard son who's like, I deserve Driftmark. Which would be interesting, right? Because it's like, okay, so we're going to put a bastard in. The good Team Green are like, we're going to put a bastard in charge of Driftmark instead of the bastard who'd inherit. But presumably the idea is Aegon's promising to legitimize him. If I am right, and that is a Velaryon bastard, it could even be a cool scene where Aegon's like, yep, Ned Waters, you are now Ned Velaryon. As the king, I've officially legitimized you. You are the official Lord of Driftmark, and then he can rally his own support there. But yes, Egg has a squad, which is a cool change from the books. I'm looking forward to. I don't know how big of a role they have, but it's pretty exciting.
The enemy usurped my throne.
So there's Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, not looking very happy. I'm pretty sure this is the same scene that we saw in that previous trailer, where Rhaenys is basically saying, war leads to bloodshed and vengeance, and calm things down a bit. I think it's that same scene, right? So his interest is Rhaenyra picking up a sword. Can we see, is it a specific sword? It looks just like a sword, but she's picking it up and she's thrusting it. We've got books here, we have helmets. This is presumably on Dragonstone, it's got that atmosphere. Why is she picking it up? I think if you've read the books, you may know, potentially, but we'll leave that for spoilers. For now, it could be, is she training? Is she attacking someone? Is she defending? Is she checking out weapons and armour on Dragonstone? Is she just sort of asserting herself as a authority figure? Like, yes, I'm going to brandish this sword myself so everyone knows I'm the one in charge.
We're going to King's Landing.
Okay, then Daemon tells Rhaenys we're going to King's Landing. Which is interesting, because Rhaenyra in the last season seemed like she wanted more of a measured response, at least before Lucerys died, and she gave a death glare at the camera. But Daemon was all about, let's attack, let's go, let's not wait, let's do this. And so, is this just Daemon's idea? Have Daemon and Rhaenyra decided to attack King's Landing? But either way, Rhaenys doesn't look super happy, and Daemon's in his armour, and Rhaenys is also in her armour.
Well,
Bong. Every trailer needs a bong.
What?
Okay, so here we have the council in King's Landing, in the Red Keep. At the end of the table, there's King Aegon. He is holding the Valyrian steel dagger, passed down from Viserys, which he sort of obsessed over. Not obsessed, but he seemed quite intrigued by it in episode 9 of season 1, right before the coronation. He was like, inspecting it. I think he sees it as a symbol of his own legitimacy. Well, not even legitimacy, but maybe a symbol of his father's love for him, where he goes, wait, father did choose me, and he gave me the dagger that he treasured. Maybe deep down he did love me, so maybe that's why he's wielding it, right? Like, the Conqueror's crown, the Conqueror's sword, that's irrelevant to him, but his father's dagger, that's more important, perhaps. We've got Kristen Cole on the left, on our left. because he's the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, which means he sits at the table. Which is actually something that doesn't happen in Game of Thrones. So the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard is meant to sit on the small council. But in the Game of Thrones show, they cut that. So they never had Barristan on the council. They never had Jaime Lannister on the council. But, yeah, the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard does always have a position. And it's cool that Hot D is introducing that. We have Alicent, of course. She's the Queen Mother. She probably is in an advisor role to Aegon. At the other head of the end of the table, with his back to us, is obviously Aemond with his long hair and eye patch, so he's on the table himself. He's on the council itself, rather. He's sitting in the position where Tywin Lannister sat last time, right? So in Season 1, at the end of the table, opposite the king, first off we had Corlys Velaryon, and then we had Tywin Lannister, and they were filling the roles of Master of Ships, right? So is Aemond now the Master of Ships? Or is he just there in an advisor position, and the director was like, it would be cool if Aegon and Aemond were like facing opposite each other. Yes, that's a good point. Someone noticed Brienne sat on the council in the final episode. That's true, yes. Now, on the right side of the table, on our right, at the far end, we have Iron Rod, Jasper Wilde, who's, of all the council members, we've probably seen him the least. In the books, he's had like 4 wives and 25 children, and the full mushroom jokes that, he's not called Iron Rod because he's a strict legalist and traditionalist. He's called Iron Rod because he has a very firm rod that's produced a lot of children. So yeah, he's the Master of Laws. In the middle we have Grand Maester Orwyle. And then the man on the right closest to us with a book out in front of him is either Tywin Lannister or Otto Hightower. The hair suggests Otto Hightower because Tywin is dirty blonde, but he could be the lighting that's making it. Because why would Otto sit there? Because that position is reserved for the Master of Coin. And the Master of Coin, Lyman Beesbury, is dead. So this isn't too much of a spoiler. Tywin Lannister becomes the new Master of Coin. If that is Tywin Lannister, yeah, he's a Master of Coin, like in the book. Maybe he's a Master of Coin and the Master of Ships. He's merged the positions together. Or maybe it is Otto, and Otto has been... maybe Otto has been demoted. Maybe Otto has been demoted to Master of Coin or whatever. I can't... Is that Otto or Tywin? I can't tell. Something... The hair says Otto, but like the... I know this is silly because of how blurry it is, but the profile of the face says Tywin to me. That doesn't look like... Wait, let me play a little bit more.
Are we going to do...
No, it didn't. I'm not sure. What do you think in the chat? Who do you think that is? But yes, anyway, and of course, in terms of certain council positions that are more spoilery, we'll get into that in spoilers. Don't you worry. Someone in the chat said, Tyree said, Master of War, ? Yes, Aemond as Master of War, I think you're alluding to. That's interesting. Master of War, as far as I remember, is a term exclusively created for the TV show. In Season 5 onwards, they created the position of Master of War, and Cersei gave that position to, or offered it to Kevin Lannister, who then refused it. And in the books, I don't think there is a Master of War position. But yes, Aegon is here, brandishing his blade.
do about it?
Yeah, showing off his legitimacy, his power. Maybe there's something phallic about it. He hasn't had much power before, and he hasn't been taken seriously, but now, boom, I've got Daddy's blade. What are you going to do about it? Okay, so looking over King's Landing, and then we have Alicent. This is the scene that promo picture is from. Alicent is looking somewhat morose, and Aemond is looking smug as hell. And I love his outfit. I love the green, sort of almost militaristic outfit. It's like a leather coat. It almost looks like it almost looks like an early 20th century military dictator, doesn't he?
We must play the board before us.
Okay, so back to the council, and this must be a different scene because Otto is in his usual position, the hand position.
Before us.
Crimby Cole looking looking the same. The man refuses to age. He has not aged between seasons. I know he does sport a new haircut this season. Looks like he hasn't got one yet. He's got like the terrible fringe. Excuse me.
Cautious.
Fuck dignity.
Now that's just rude. Yeah, you never know whether the scenes are playing out as they do in a show or if they're editing bits of audio together, but Aegon saying fuck dignity, he's not looking happy. He looks pretty pissed off. There must be something that he's mad about.
Dignity. I want revenge.
Music intensifies. So we have a shot that was in the previous trailer, a whole army heading down here with a big old castle, and then cut to a bunch of Lannister soldiers riding, and it appears to be the same location. So it looks like the Lannister army are marching through, presumably, the Westerlands. And who's this leading the charge? This could possibly be Jason Lannister, because we know in Season 1 Jason Lannister had longer hair than his twin brother Tyland, and you can see some blonde hair peeking out behind the helmet. So, seeing as he's in charge and his horse has the fancier armour, I bet that's Jason Lannister.
News.
Oh, and also, yeah, perhaps more importantly, go back a bit. More importantly, he has the Lannister armour. He's got the lions, the shoulder pauldron lions. Yeah, that's cool.
News spreads through the realm.
And then we have Bran Stark in the forest, going back in time to spy on events. Vhagar.
The great houses will come to our side.
The great houses will come to our side, your grace. So, yeah, we've got Aegon and Criston sort of glaring at Otto. Would that be fair to say? Yeah, they don't look... not glaring, but they look unimpressed.
Houses will come
And Otto seems quite desperate. He's saying, the great houses will come to our side. Trust me. Trust me. We're going to win this.
to our side.
Yeah, and then we have an army marching down a road. That doesn't appear to be the Lannister army, because that's not red. That looks green to me. So is this a Hightower army? Is this the Hightower army marching from the Reach to the Crownlands to bolster Aegon's forces? Okay, so, battle scene. Let me just have some water quickly. I can see Audible making a comeback. Yeah, let's bring those Audible sponsorships back when my Hot D reviews start coming out. Yeah, so we've got an army. We've got some kind of battle scene. The sigil we can see in the front with the white shields on red and then the black diamonds on yellow. That's the sigil of House Darklyn. In the back we can see a white lamb on green. That's the sigil of House Staunton. And wedged behind that big green shield in the centre, we can see some red chevronels on white and black ermine patterns. That is the sigil of House Rosby. So Darklyn, Rosby and Stokeworth are all houses from the Crownlands. So this is a Crownland army. Of course, the question remains, are they loyal to Rhaenyra or are they loyal to Aegon? We'll have to see.
I did not think they would.
So is that, hold on, was that a goblet or was that like a chess piece kind of thing? Like a war piece? I think that's a, yeah, that's just like a drinking. Yeah, there's a goblet.
I did not think they would be so easy.
In the background, who can we see behind Rhaenyra? We have a member of the Kingsguard, that's Sir Laurent Marbrand. So at the end of Season 1, Sir Laurent Marbrand and Sir Steffon Darklyn both swore fealty to Rhaenyra under threat of dragonfire, death by dragonfire. So yeah, the bald one is Laurent Marbrand. Next to him, I think that's Jacaerys, presumably, judging by the dark hair and the red outfit.
Eager to.
Oh, and who's this? Who's to Rhaenyra's left? Oh no, that's Jace. That looks like Jace, right? So who's that in the back? That could just the blurry guy in the out of focus behind the Kingsguard could just be like a page or something. So yeah, no, I think that's Jacaerys on the left.
He's so eager to die.
Daemon looking smug as hell. Oh, damn, he's cool. Valyrian ships going through the sea. Ah, Sorry, I've got PTSD when I see those things landing. I keep thinking back to the giant Kraken one that squashes a motherfucker back in Game of Thrones, and then Euron ran down and he's like, with a big axe and his tongue's out. It's like, my goodness. It was cool. It was a cool moment. It was perhaps the only cool moment that Euron ever had, was like riding, what's it called? It's like it's not a drawbridge obviously, but it's like a ladder thing. Euron riding that and crushing someone with it and then leaping off and killing someone else with an axe was the coolest Euron moment. Euron-tarian. Vic-Euron. The Euron Victarion Greyjoy mix that we got in the show. It's a shame he wasn't always like that. He was mostly cringe. But him fighting on the ship, that was kind of badass.
My ship's sailing.
Someone's made the point that Crossfire says the Darkland sigil shouldn't have that many white shields. That's a very interesting point. So going back to yes, so House Darkland actually adds white shields to its sigil in honor of its members who have joined the Kingsguard. So throughout the past, there have been a few members in the Kingsguard, and it looks like, at least according to this one, and oh no, there's one in the back at the very left, the shield at the very left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If it's going 2 by 2, yeah, 8. As far as we know, there haven't been 8 Darklands on the Kingsguard from Aegon the First to Aegon the Second. That's a lot of Darklands proportionately. So that could just be a small mistake by the props department. 0 out of 10. I refuse to watch this show. Valyrian ships, Valyrian soldiers.
My ships.
So where could they be going?
Sail at your command.
Yes, and then the blue, the blue and the silver seahorse. I love it. So yeah, his Corlys. The hair's looking better too. Although his hair was never terrible. It was usually the female Valyrians who had terrible hair. But yes, he's reminding Rhaenyra that his fleet is pledged to her. So maybe we'll see some naval battles. There's our boy Craxes, the spicy noodle.
The realm's only hope
Yeah, Daemon riding.
isn't a leader strong enough to unite it.
Here's an interesting line. Daemon saying the only hope is a leader strong enough to unite it. So you would assume he's saying that to Rhaenyra as an encouraging thing. But then it's spliced in with this line of dialogue.
Do you accept me?
Now, again, that could be sneaky editing, but it sort of implies that Daemon's saying, we need a strong leader for the realm to unite because it's split. And then Rhaenyra saying, do you accept me as that leader? And Daemon is not really responding, as you can see.
As your queen and ruler.
So, again, it could be manipulative editing. This scene could be him being like, yes, of course. Or perhaps he's going to turn to her and say, listen, just make me the king. You can be my queen consort. We can share power, but make me the king and then the realm will rally, right? They won't rally behind you because you're a woman and you have bastard children. Let's be honest. Let's rally behind me and let's have our firstborn son take the throne. And then there will be no dispute. People would rather have me than Aegon II. That could be something he proposes. You know, cause some drama between this couple. That's not something that happened in the book, but it could be interesting if Daemon in the show goes down that route, even if it's, even temporarily. Quinn said he definitely seems older this season, which is good. Who seems older, Quinn? Which character? Hello. What do we have here? We appear to have... I believe this is Sunfire, yes. The beautiful golden dragon, not quite as golden as I'd like. Like, he's meant to be this shimmering golden dragon. If anything, he looks green. He looks greenish yellow. I do like the smooth curved horns. Lovely. That looks lovely. The wings are beautiful. I just don't think he looks as gold as he could, at least in this shot. Corlys. Quinn says Corlys. Yes, Corlys is looking older. I think they've added more grey to his beard. I never understood why they didn't just give him like a fully black beard in episode 1 of season 1, and then by episode 10 give him a fully grey beard. Like that would be the easiest way to, But even the actor, by the way, Steve Toussaint, I'm not sure if he pronounces it like that or as Toussaint.
My ships sail at your command.
But this man is like 60. Steve Toussaint, I think, is over 60. He looks good for over 60. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. Where were we? Yes. So we have Sunfire, Aegon's dragon, flying over King's Landing. And then we have the subject of my uncharacteristically shit thumbnail, which is Aemond. Not Aemond, goddammit. Aegon. Aegon wearing bulky battle armor, trying to cosplay Daemon. And he's sort of got the Conqueror's crown fused onto the helmet, which is quite cool to see. And he's riding. So is this a kind of a propaganda flight, right? Like a kind of flying around the city, being like, yeah, I'm in charge. Is that celebration? Because in the book, after he is coronated, he flies around on Sunfire a few times. So maybe this is like a delayed version of that. Or is he flying out to war? Maybe he's flying out to war. Yeah, people in the chat saying Steve Toussaint is 59. yeah. Someone said black don't crack. I mean, he looks incredible. I mean, the thing is, he looks older because he has a grey beard, right? When you see him without the beard, he looks even younger. Like, I assumed this man was in his 40s. Maybe late 40s. But late 50s? That's insane. But yeah, Aegon's riding. Here we have an army marching up to a castle. And yeah, we have the Rosby sigil, so this must be that same army.
This senseless war was end.
Alicent looking sad as usual.
Shall not have us prevail.
That's it. That's a great shot. Aemond saying, "Would you not have us prevail?"
Have us prevail.
Not like this.
Not like this. So, maybe something is being planned. Something that Aemond is morally fine with, and Alicent isn't.
Not like this.
Ooh, and a beautiful shot of the spicy noodle, who is now a wet spicy noodle. He's in the rain. Daemon's riding him. He's probably gonna do his dolphin scream. Remember Caraxes' dolphin scream, where he's like, wait, that was a terrible impression. What was it? It was like, I can't do it evidently, but yeah. Oh, I love it because like the long neck means it's like a distorted sound. We need to hear him roar more, you know.
Alicent holds love for our enemy. That makes her a fool.
Aemond and Criston having a bro talk. Just bros being bros. Just some locker room talk. He's like looking around himself, making sure she can't hear. Yo, my mum's a look side to side. Yo, my mum's a fucking look side to side. Yo, my mum's a bitch. Kristen's like, yeah. She's a looks around. Yeah, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. She's a fucking bitch, bro. Yeah. Kristen's fucking face. But yes. Apparently Alicent still has sympathy for Team Black, so Aemond is like, that's ridiculous. She's useless. The shot that they've shown in like every single trailer of a bunch of people in the north, you know, could be Jace being led to Winterfell, being led to the Wall, maybe it's the Night's Watch. We'll see. And here we have front-facing shot of Jace, aka basically what book Jon Snow looks like, and then Cregan in the back. Cregan looks cool. Oh, Cregan looks good. I was wondering if Cregan would have a stubble or a beard. Looks like he's clean-shaven, but yeah. Jace's actor so far. Jace's actor, Harry Collett, if you see any picture of him, and like even in this shot, he's constantly just doing his absolute best to like look sexy. He's always pulling a face that's like as dramatic and sexy as possible. It's so funny. He doesn't take a single picture where he's not like trying to smolder. Whoa! We got a... Whose dragon is that? That's quite a small dragon. I think that's Baela's dragon, Moondancer, because it's so small. And, oh! Was Baela chasing after... It looks like Baela was chasing after some knights on horseback, including Criston Cole. So it looks like Criston and a bunch of knights are flying away from this dragon, going into the woods. Not sure why the woods would protect them from a dragon, but there we go. And Criston, as has been noted in previous trailers, is wearing something special and shiny around his neck. It looks like a chain of a golden necklace, a chain of hands clasping each other. Looks similar to the one that Tyrion had around his neck when he was the Hand of the King and fighting in the Battle of the Blackwater. Oh, and of course he has the new haircut where it does age him a bit. Quimby's new haircut does age him a bit.
The enemy without.
Rhaenyra looks dishevelled as fuck, so this could be post Lucerys' death.
Maybe for.
And Larys, who's not in this trailer, but we hear his voice. The enemy without, maybe fought with swords. Oh, and here's Aegon is looking like he had a bad curry the previous night, and he's straining.
Swords.
Ooh, what was that shot? Looks like a member of the Kingsguard is doing battle. So that is Sir Eric Cargill or Sir Eric Cargill. They're identical twins. One of them is a member of the Kingsguard sworn to Rhaenyra. The other one stayed in King's Landing and is sworn to Aegon. So this could be Eric defending Aegon from an assassin. It could be Eric defending Rhaenyra from an assassin. And again, we'll go into spoilers just in a bit. Excuse me. Daemon wandering out of his bedroom in some lovely silken pyjamas, a bit hungover from the previous night.
The enemy within.
Staggering. This is an interesting shot. The casting's so interesting. This is Aemond, but like for a split second, it made me think it was Rhaenyra because of like the nose and the hair and the eyes. Like the casting's cool. They all do look like they're part of the same inbred family, aren't they? Everyone either looks like Rhaenyra or Daemon or Alicent. No one really looks like Viserys, I do have to say. No one has the Vizzy T genes, but so here's Aemond in a position of vulnerability. Interestingly enough, we're used to him with the being braggadocious and swaggering and wearing the eye patch and like jutting his jaw out and looking confident. But here we're seeing a moment of vulnerability, and he doesn't have his eye patch. And maybe the lack of eye patch is maybe the eye patch is a mask, as Quinn the GM said in his live stream. The eye patch is like the character that he puts forward to everyone, the Aemond badass character, and then when he takes that away, it's more personal. He's revealing the wound given to him as a child. And yeah, is he grieving something? Is this after Lucerys' death and he's being like, oh god, oh shit, I just killed my nephew and started a war, oh god, I can't tell anyone, or has something else happened which has provoked this? And also, who is that in the bag? What woman is he in the lap of? It could be a certain character we'll talk about in the spoiler section. It could just be like a random prostitute that he's paid to like snuggle with, although I feel like Aemond isn't the kind of character who would just go around cavorting with prostitutes. I think that's an Aegon thing, that's a Daemon thing. I don't think Aemond is up for that kind of thing. I know he did as a teenager, right? Because Aegon dragged him along, but he seems like he's like, no. While you were out whoring, I studied the blade. So the third option is this could be Helaena. But she's got the fancy sleeves. We know that he kind of has a thing for Helaena. So maybe she's the only person he feels close with. Maybe she's the only person he can confess his feelings to, and he knows she won't tell anyone because she's a bit spacey. So he could be snuggling with Helaena, being like, "Oh God, what have I done?" And she's thinking about bugs or something. But either way, I do want to stress to the Simps in the chat: you cannot fix him. It's not that he's a psycho. You can't fix him, okay? The sooner you understand that, the better, damn it. Okay.
Hideous.
Ooh, I like the Foley sound there. I like the crunch of the leather. Ooh, not the crunch, the squeeze. Whoa. And then wait.
Yes.
Fantastic shot of someone stepping into water, and then splash. So I don't know whether that's a transition that will happen in the show. Someone steps in the water, the camera turns, and then the splash of the Velaryon ships, or whether that was done so for the trailer, and perhaps the transition will be different, or maybe we will see them go into the water. The way they were stepping in and falling face first and the way the camera was moving, to me that implies it's like a dream or hallucination, right? It's quite surreal. And here we have Alan of Hull from earlier, not Adam. I'm a fake fan. Alan of Hull, looking badass. He was in the actor's name I can't remember, but he was in Raised by Wolves, which I haven't seen. Apparently, it's good. And he's also the voice of the protagonist in Assassin's Creed Origins, which again I haven't played, but I've heard is good. So yeah, it's quite cool. He's looking pretty badass. He's got his Valarian armor, so he'll be serving in the Valarian Navy. He'll be our eyes and ears on the seas. So here's an interesting shot. We've got 3 ladies lowering their fans. I'm really trying to get like the very last image. So who is that? So my first instinct when I first watched this trailer was, oh, that's Helena. And, you know, maybe she's, I don't know, performing some kind of fun dance routine. Maybe she's some like official court thing, some ceremony. But I'm not. Is that Helena? I'm not entirely sure that is Helena. I'm not sure. But if it's not, I'm not sure who else it would be. Yes, Bayek of Siwa. Yes, that is Bayek. Yeah, I'm not sure who it would be because we've met all of the Targaryen characters in canon, with the exception of Daeron, Prince Daeron of Old Town, who was younger brother of Aemond, Aegon, and Helena, sent to Old Town. Prince Daeron. Obviously, it's not Daeron because I don't think Daeron would be playing with a fan like that unless they have made Daeron a female character, which I think would be a bit silly, or if Daeron is just kind of being feminine because he wants to, because he's chilling, but I suspect he won't be in this season. So it could be Helena. I don't think it's Daeron. It could be a Targaryen bastard, and Targaryen bastards will play a role this season, but not in this capacity. It could just be, you know, generic dancers, prostitutes, whatever, and one of them just has Targ hair as a kind of like, you know, there have been Targaryens on Dragonstone or in King's Landing for a long time, so, you know, there's bound to be some bastard. I know that apparently there may be scenes set in Tyrosh, so these could be like Tyroshi dancers. Maybe she's Lyseni. I don't know. It could be all kind of things. Shiera Seastar. Yes, Shiera Seastar. Yes, that's it. Abu Bakr Salim. That's the name of the actor. Abu Bakr Salim. Yes, opening his own game studio. I remember it was not E3 because that's dead, but it was the Summer Game Fest last year. Was it last year? Where where he gave a speech. That guy gave a speech, and he basically launched his own studio, I think, and launched his own game, which was like inspired by African mythology. And I was like, hey, isn't that guy gonna be Alan of Hull? Girl, pale hair. Okay, could be Gaiman, pale hair. Trystane Truefire, gender bent. Okay, maybe we might have to dive into spoilers when we to talk more about this character. But it's no Quinn. It's not Daeron. Daeron the femboy. I don't know. The vibe, like, I'm not sure if the eyes are Helena's eyes and the vibes don't give off Helena, but maybe it is her. I don't know. Anyway, let's just carry on. So yes, here we have Rhaena. She's chilling. Ooh, and we have Baela on Moondancer. Some stuff's being burnt. Oh, and to address, I kind of went off on a tangent. To address Larys's quote, where he says about enemies without can be fought with swords, enemies within are more insidious. So we know Larys is building up influence with Alicent, even with Otto, and he has his own men, he has his own spies, his own agents. Perhaps he's perhaps he's planning something. Maybe he's saying, look, enemies within are insidious, you're going to need me. You're going to need me and my spy network. You know, maybe he's trying to push himself up the ladder, up the greasy ladder.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
And we see Mysaria return, and perhaps the biggest twist of the trailer is that she doesn't sound silly. So yeah,
One
the White Worm is back, wearing white, of course. In the book, she's like borderline albino. She's got like a very, very pale skin and like white hair. And she's a Lyseni dancer. In the show, they didn't go down that route, but they've given her white robes. Also, I'm pretty sure when the White Worm is she's like meant to be beautiful and lithe when she's younger, and by the time of the Dance of the Dragons, I think she's a bit older and she's gained some more weight. But they're like, yeah, no, let's just get a beautiful woman to play it. We're HBO. So there's my Zarya and her accent. Listen to her accent.
To fight a war.
Has she abandoned her accent completely? Is she just doing an English accent? There's more than one way to fight a war.
Way to fight.
Let's play that again.
One way. There is more than one way to fight a war.
It would be so funny if she just has an English accent. After a whole season of whatever that was last season. Otto Hightower. Power belongs to the people, blah, blah, blah. Or it could be that she's doing an accent, but it's super, super toned down, because there was bad feedback, so I'm happy with that.
Way to fight a war.
But yes, more than one way to fight a war. A war of spies. My Zarya versus Laris, perhaps. Oh, and then we have a bearded man in a tunnel. We have coins being placed in a man's hand. We have something smexual going on. Ooh, what could that be? Who is that? Is that the... Who is that? Is that Rhaenyra? Is that Helena? Is that the woman that was had her face behind the fan? And who's that with the ring? I'm not... Who is that? Curious. Aha, knife. Someone's got a knife. Here's King's Landing, because we have a gold cloak there. The crowd look unhappy. They're like, get back. Alicent is looking very distressed, and there's a Kingsguard behind her who, pretty sure that is Sir Harold Westerling, which basically means that Harold Westerling dramatically tore his cloak off and was like, I'm not in the Kingsguard anymore. I see no king, I will not serve anyone. And then Criston Cole was made Lord Commander, and they're like, okay, you are still in the Kingsguard though, Harold, you're still here, right? You can't leave. And he's like, shit, you're right. I guess I'm Kingsguard still. Okay. Like, Harold Westerling's... Again, he's alive because Graham McTavish is based, I get it. But his inclusion in the small council scene, which was already absurdly rushed and silly, just felt like a weird, oh, and then Sir Harold speaks, and then he leaves. One of the many and then moments in the council scene that just made the pacing feel very off. It felt like a long scene that was cut down for time. But yeah, the fans all assumed that he'd tear his cloak off, swagger out the council, and then reappear as a supporter of Rhaenyra. Like, I'm serving you instead, like Barristan Selmy. But if that is Harold, it looks like he's like, no, I'm back to you guys. I've just been demoted. I'm no longer Lord Commander. It's like, okay, well, that's kind of lame. Although in the chat, some people are saying that's not Harold Westerling. Might be... someone said Gerald Thorne. I think you mean Rickard Thorne. It could be. I mean, yeah, the Kingsguard members we haven't yet seen that are in the books. We haven't seen Sir Willis Fell, and we haven't seen Sir Rickard Thorne. So this could be Willis or Rickard. I don't know who the actors are. Yeah, no spoilers yet, Corvus. Once we reach the end of the trailer, we'll go back again and we'll have proper spoiler book talk. Yeah, there's Alicent and Helena running. And that transitions to dude on a horse. I think is that Criston Cole? Chaos, explosions, big fight going on. Who's this? Oh, that looks like Rhaenys's armor, and that looks like Melly's spiky boy, spiky girl. So yeah. And then here we have, we have Melys, and we have Aemond on Vhagar. Vhagar's going nuts.
War is coming.
War is coming, in case that's not clear. There's going to be war.
Neither of us may win.
War is coming and neither of us may win. The way that's phrased implies that she's talking to someone on the other side. Like her saying to Daemon, neither of us may win, doesn't really make sense compared to being like, we may not win. Saying neither of us implies she's talking about herself and someone on the green faction. Like, it could be that both of us lose. So who in the green faction could she be talking to? But yeah, she's posing in front of Syrax, who... Syrax looks like he's been scaled up massively, and I'm pretty sure Syrax was meant to be very large in the finale of Season 10, you know, when Rhaenyra flies in on Syrax and lands on the bridge. Apparently, it was a mistake that Syrax was that small. So, yeah. Someone's saying it looks like Vermithor. Maybe it's not Syrax. My instinct was grown-up Syrax, because it's Rhaenyra, but does that look like Syrax? I can't remember what Syrax looks like. Does it have those thorns? That could be Vermithor, the old dragon of the old king, King Jaehaerys I. Bush has said Balerion 6 times in the chat. It's not Balerion, because Balerion the Black Dread is dead, and has been for decades. Vermithor, people are saying Vermithor. I think you're right. He's got that thuggish, spiky look to him. You're right. Yeah, not Syrax then. I was focusing more on the size and Rhaenyra being there, and being like, oh yes, I remember the story about how Syrax was meant to be larger. But no, I think that's Vermithor. Who, if you don't remember, Daemon was singing to Vermithor in the finale. Dun dun, June 16th. June 16th, my goodness. I've got to get ready. I'll tell you what, I have some videos planned. My next video will be a proper breakdown of this trailer. A spoilery breakdown of the trailer, and after that, I've said this before, I'm working on a bunch of videos that will release during Hot D. So not only will you get live streams and episode reviews, but you'll get animated videos talking about some cool lore, like certain houses. So, and I might have, Quinn the GM and I may have something extra in store for you. We'll see how that goes. But it's not the end of the stream. Some people have already left. I should have said that sooner. It's not the end of the stream. We're going to go into book spoilers now. So we're talking about book spoilers and book leaks. Not book leaks, show leaks and so on. So if you haven't read the books, if you don't want to be spoiled for stuff that happens in the books, feel free to check out another live stream like Quinn GM's. However, if you have read the books, stick around. And again, if anyone has any questions, any notes, any theories, anything they want me to read out loud, feel free to send me a super chat or to click on the description below and send me a tip via Streamlabs, because YouTube will take a cut of the super chat, but Streamlabs don't take anything from a Streamlabs donation. So there we go, spoilers. You have been warned. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler time. Oh, Bitter Steel in the chat said House Bracken in all caps. Maybe I'll be doing a House Bracken video. Maybe. Maybe there'll be a House Bracken video coming out when Hot D drops. Interesting. Okay, let me have some water. Okay, let's begin. Wow, this is familiar. So, yes. So, spoiler talk now. Daemon walking into the throne room. My instinct is that this is some kind of weird vision. According to the Entertainment Weekly article that was published today, I think the trailer was meant to drop tomorrow, but because it got leaked, they had to. It forced HBO's hand. So, I don't think they wanted it to drop at the same time as the Entertainment Weekly, but it was all fine. So yes, anyway, going off on a tangent as usual. In that article, they talk about Daemon being at Harrenhal and Harrenhal having this like dark, surreal vibe. Kind of like visions, weird things happening. Daemon not knowing if it's all in his head from the stress or lack of sleep, or whether it's like supernatural elements because it's Harrenhal and there's potentially a curse. So I really like that idea. It could be that Daemon is having a dream here where he's like, this is my throne room, this is my throne, this is my crown. Or maybe he's having a dream that's going to involve Viserys or whatever. Either way, I don't think this is going to happen in the show, like, physically. Like, I don't think there's going to be a scene where Daemon enters. Because for Daemon to be here, you need to have the Battle of the Gullet and the Fall of King's Landing, right? And we know the Battle of the Gullet got pushed. There's no indication that the Fall of King's Landing will be this season, so there's no way the Team Black would be in the Red Keep. And especially, why would Daemon be in, like, pajamas walking through a giant empty throne room? That's kind of random. So I think it's a vision or a dream or something weird. Yes, we will be talking about Nettles and Rhaena and that leak, unconfirmed leak, soon. Okay.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron Throne is not just a king.
Someone said, does Fancy Haven have a 1 million plus YouTuber in the chat? Do I? Oh, of course. Oh, we got Brugly. We've got Big Brugly. What did Brugly say? I do enjoy some hot dong. Very nice. Dun 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 dun. Hot dong, season 2. Yeah, thanks for coming, Brugly. Brugly is a fan of the channel. He also has like over 1 million subs, so he's like the celebrity. He's one of the many celebrities who pop up in my live streams, right? We've got Bittersteel, who is always promoting Blackfire propaganda. We've got Andre, who every now and then will like dump $100 on a live stream and then disappear for months because he's my sugar daddy. And we have Brugly, the e-celeb. Anyway, so where were we? Yeah, so we have the zoom in on the Iron Throne with the lightning. Now, this could be Daemon walking up to the throne in his vision, but it could be Aemond, right? Because in one of the first trailers, Aemond is walking up, and I think you can see lightning flashing in his face, and then it cuts to the Iron Throne. So this could be interspliced to trick us. This could be Aemond walking towards the Iron Throne and kind of being like, maybe I deserve it, maybe it's mine. And of course, we see Aegon's sigils flapping down. We've got the golden dragon on green, which is the different from the golden dragon on black of the book, and I quite like this change. Okay, play.
He's not just a king or a queen.
Whoa. And yeah, so Alicent. Someone in the chat like, you have no clue what you're talking about. Is that in reference to like another comment or to me? Because you're absolutely right. I do have no clue what I'm talking about. So yeah, Alicent, I do think this links into that scene of her standing by the lake. I suspect it's post Blood and Cheese. Maybe she's losing influence and she's grieving and people are suffering, and then Blood and Cheese happens and she's just like lost and she goes off to find herself. Maybe is she trying to kill herself by jumping in the river, or is she just kind of dissociating somewhat? I know, it's interesting. Ah, I can go backwards and forwards by 1 frame if I do this. Thank you so much, Archive in the chat. I may be 25, but deep down, I am a technological boomer. I have no idea what I'm doing. I apologise for the frustration. Back in blue, I see. Oh, Mink, I didn't even notice. She's back in blue. She wears blue. In the early part of season 1, she's wearing blue. When she's young, innocent Alicent. Try saying that 5 times over. I can't even say the phrase, try saying that 5. Fuck, I fucked it up. Never mind. Too many tongue twisters for me. But she's wearing blue. The start of season 1, she wears blue. Then she starts wearing black and red when she's married to Viserys. She's his wife. So she goes from innocent teenager to Viserys' wife. And then she comes into her own as a schemer and a political player by wearing green. So her reverting to blue is her reverting to innocence, reverting to being a child, perhaps reverting to being a pawn of Otto. It's some kind of regression. That's interesting. If that's intentional, that's interesting. Yeah, the crown dropping, as we said earlier in the chat, the crown dropping is probably Daemon's weird Harrenhal vision or dream or something. The 3 dragon eggs.
They are a protector of the realm.
So this, I believe this will be one of the riots of King's Landing. So, according to leaks, there's going to be some King's Landing riots. So I got distracted. Some of the shit in the chat. I'm not even going to read that out loud. Something about Otto. God damn. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted. So yes, according to the leaks, there's going to be some kind of riot in King's Landing, probably because there is a Velaryon blockade preventing food from going up the Blackwater Rush into Blackwater Bay and giving food to King's Landing. And then, of course, if you have Crownland houses that support Rhaenyra, that means they're blocking food coming via the land. And so the peasantry are just getting less food, there's less trade, and so maybe there are hunger riots, there are bread riots, that kind of thing. Mirroring what happens in Season 2 of Game of Thrones, with the War of the Five Kings is going on, and the people are furious, and they tear people apart, they tear the High Septon apart, and they eat him. They probably don't eat him, but there we go. So yeah, we're seeing some drama on the streets.
Now I find myself in an impossible position.
So this is interesting. I wonder if this is Rhaenyra, this shot combined with what she's saying. She's in an impossible position. Maybe she's like, how do I progress here? I think this is post-grieving Rhaenyra. Not post-grieving, post-immediate grieving. So she's gone over the whole, dishevelled hair, dishevelled outfit, finding Lucerys' body maybe, or at least what's left of it. Looks like she's gone beyond that, and now she's sort of, what is next? War is breaking out. There's chaos across Westeros. Am I doing the right thing? What's my next goal? What's my strategy? All that stuff. It'd be interesting, because she doesn't do that much in a book once the war gets going. Like, she's very much plotting in Dragonstone, but she takes a back seat, so it'd be cool to see what she gets up to, character-wise. And yep, I talked about this before. Aegon and his crew, who have been made for the show, to give him some drinking buddies, or because they represent different aspects of the Westlands that are loyal to him. Sorry, of Westeros that are loyal to him. Yeah, it's cool. And then we've got a bunch of people bowing. Do we recognise anyone who's bowing? I don't think so. Otto is by the Iron Throne.
All hail King Aegon!
Yeah! All hail King Aegon, the boy. The lad.
The enemy usurped my throne.
Yeah, Rhaenyra and Rhaenys having a little scene. So this could... People have said this could be the Cargill attempted assassination, where Eric Cargill disguises himself as Eric and infiltrates King's Landing and tries to cut her down. It could be. And this is her defending herself. Her picking up her sword, like, stay away. I will defend myself. And then, of course, Eric jumps in to defend her, and then we have Cargill Bowl. But the way she's picking it up doesn't necessarily look like, you, stay away from me. Like, she's doing it, like, her face is, it looks more like, it doesn't look like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. It looks like she's stoically, it's a stoic presentation of power, like show of force, like, let me check this weapon. Is it good? Or kind of like, yes, I'm the leader. Or is she going to knight someone? I don't know. I don't know if this is her defending herself. I don't know. Practicing on her own. Yeah, she could just be like practicing to be like, maybe this is after the assassination attempt where she's like, if, this could happen again, in which case I need to know how to defend myself, so I might do a bit of sword training. That makes sense.
We're going to King's Landing.
So Daemon's saying we're going to King's Landing. What's that about? Because they're not going to King's Landing. They're not. They go to King's Landing after the Battle of the Gullet, and the Battle of the Gullet isn't happening this season. And we know Rook's Rest is happening halfway through the season, and Rhaenys is still here. So this has to be early season 2. Daemon saying we're going to King's Landing. Is that the original plan, and then it fails? Like, maybe that's the original plan, and then, Blood and Cheese happens, and they're like, okay, change of direction. Could it be when they say we're going to King's Landing, it's like Battle of Rook's Rest, where they're like, okay, we'll send some people to go to Rook's Rest, and then the rest of us will go to King's Landing, but then they change their mind. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just an idea Daemon has that gets shot down. Quinn says, it's been confirmed that the season starts 10 days after season 1. My thought is Daemon wants to go to King's Landing since Rhaenyra has been off searching for Luke's corpse. Ah, interesting. So Rhaenyra is searching for Luke and grieving and stressing, and Daemon is itching for war, and she's like, fuck this, we're going to King's Landing, we're burning it down, how dare they kill Lucerys, and maybe Rhaenyra will talk her out of it. That's it. Yeah, I bet it's that. Duh.
Well, what are we going?
So yes, this council scene, so I was trying not to spoil stuff earlier. This is clearly Criston Cole has now been made Hand of the King, because in other shots we see Otto in his usual place at the left-hand side of the king from our perspective. But now it's Criston, so this is now Criston Cole as Hand of the King, which is probably, we know that's before Rook's Rest, because he's wearing that during the Rook's Rest episode where he's riding on the horse. So yeah, Alicent is there, Aemond is there, Ironrod, Orwyle. See, that's why I'm not 100% sure if that's Otto, because if he's stripped of his position of hand, I'm thinking he may have been like fully kicked off the council. You know, he may fully be like, "You're out. You know, fuck you. You've messed up. You're not Hand anymore. Criston's Hand, go away." And that is Tyland Lannister as the Master of Coin in his Master of Coin seat. And they could be making Aemond Master of Ships to give him a reason to be on the council, or it could be that Tyland is Master of Coin and Ships merged together. I'm not sure. But yeah, because that side profile looks more like Tyland than Otto to me, and it kind of feels like it would be weird to be like, to strip Otto of his handship but then demote him to Master of Coin, and then Tyland just disappears because Tyland is important for the future. Yeah. Yes, apologies for Streamlabs not showing up. I will be reading out Super Chats and Streamlabs stuff at the end of the stream. But thank you if you sent stuff in. You're amazing. Yeah, and I know people have said... Yeah, someone said that's definitely Tyland's actor. Some people are saying the hair's too dark, but that's the thing with Lannisters in the show. They all have like dark, dirty blonde hair that looks brown most of the time because of the colour grading, so... Yes, Quinn says, was Tyland the Master of Ships before? Yes, he was. Because he sat on the end of the table, and now he's sitting... I think that is Tyland Lannister.
To do about it.
Right, let me go back a bit. Oop.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
Yes. War has come, what are we going to do about it? So... This is, if Criston is Hand, this is post Blood and Cheese, this is after the War of the Ravens, this is Otto being kicked out because he hasn't secured enough support, and Aegon is impulsive, so he's like, okay, war has come, let's do something. Also, he's wearing black, so I think he's in mourning, where in that first shot of him, he's wearing green, and he has the gold dragons on his chest, and I think that's more him like, yeah, I'm king, and now he's in black mourning attire. This could be the same episode of the funeral of his son, Jaehaerys. So this could be him being like, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to take our revenge? King's Landing, looking cool. And Alicent and Aemond. And again, I love what he's wearing. I'm just going to say it. Aemond looks borderline fascist. That outfit. What's he doing? He looks like he looks like a dictator at a balcony about to give a speech. Alicent's like, God damn it, what have I done? I raised him so badly. Yes, what could this be? So it's Alicent and Aemond looking over the city. So my instinct is this could be after Rook's Rest. The beige keep, someone says. Yeah, not so red with this colour grading, unfortunately. But it looks like this could be after Rook's Rest when Aegon is burnt and in bed and high on milk with a poppy, and he's out of action, and Aemond needs to step up and become regent. So this could be Aemond as the regent, being like, okay, I'm in charge now, this is my city, let's see how we move on from now.
We must play the board.
So this is Otto when he's still the hand, because he's in that hand seat and he's wearing the... So this could be episode 1. We must play the board before us.
Proceed.
Oh, actually, that has reminded me. I do want to go back. Where was it? Where were you? There we go. There's a big map behind them that wasn't there before in season 1. So I reckon the camera's going to like pan to that map to give people a better understanding of who supports which faction. Like, I can imagine Aegon being like, so, who's on my side? And like Ironrod stands up with like a crayon and he's like, you have the Stormlands, the Westerlands, the Reach, and half the Crownlands, sir. Okay, good. What about Rhaenyra? Well, she's got half the Crownlands too. She has the Velaryons. She's reaching out to the Vale in the north. The Riverlands are undecided. The Iron Islands are fucking about. Give the audience like a little lesson. Because I will say, like in the finale of season 1, I appreciate the attempt. But the characters grabbing little icons and like placing them, being like, I will go to Harrenhal and we can put our fleet up the Blackwater Rush and, you know, the Lannisters have sided, blah blah. Like, it didn't give a good. There wasn't a good enough shot of the table, in my opinion. Like, you couldn't really work the table map in Dragonstone. Sorry, I should have clarified the big map, the painted table. Like, for a casual, obviously I know what all these places are and where they are geographically. But for the average viewer, they're going to be like, wait, sorry, who supports? Where are they? Like, it was visually, it didn't really. So maybe it'll be better if we have a map in the corner there, and we can probably have the camera on it, and the viewer can be like, oh, okay, so this area supports Aegon. Okay, that's good. Where were we?
Board before us.
We must play the board before us. Kristen, and this is pre-haircut, so it looks like he doesn't get a haircut in the 10 days. It looks like maybe he's named Hand of the King and then he gets a haircut. I don't know why, but that'd be quite funny. His first order of business is shit. I've got to look my age now. I'm gonna get a haircut. I'm gonna get a terrible fringe.
Proceed cautiously.
Now that is a great freeze frame. Fuck dignity. Yeah, this has to be. He's wearing black in mourning. This is post Blood and Cheese. He's like, fuck dignity. They killed my son. We're gonna fuck them up. What was it Alison was saying? Proceed cautiously. So this could be them planning Rook's Rest, which of course is the trap to ensnare Rhaenyra, by sending in an army to take Duskendale and Rook's Rest, hoping that Rhaenyra will respond, and then boom, surprise Vhagar and Sunfire attack. But he's been like, fuck dignity, we're going to trick them, we're not going to do open warfare, we're going to fucking sneak attack, because they killed my son.
Fuck dignity.
And then Aemond is looking smug. Is he wearing, like, lip gloss or something? Aemond is so metrosexual. Anyway.
I want revenge.
Yes. Yeah, well, I should have let it play 2 more seconds. He wants revenge. It's post Blood and Cheese. I want revenge. And then there's, the Lannisters riding, looking cool. And that has to be Jason in the front, Lord Jason Lannister, the long blonde hair coming out from under his helmet and the lion face pauldrons. He is leading his Lannister army. We know in the books that the Lannister army marches through the Golden Tooth. Oh yeah, so this castle is probably, let's go back, probably the Golden Tooth, and it looks like they're riding in to meet an army that's standing still, so that could be House Lefford. Those could be some House Lefford troops being like, hey, what's up? Oh, in fact, you can see 2 soldiers on top of that little tower. It looks like they have blue cloaks. It looks like maybe they're wearing gold and blue, and gold and blue are the colours of House Lefford. So it's like, hey, hello, Lord Lefford, because it's Lord Lannister and Lord Lefford who march together into the Riverlands. And then you have 2 big battles. You have the Battle of the Red Fork, followed by the Battle of the Fish Feed. Yeah. So it looks like we're seeing the beginning of that campaign. So we're seeing some Crownland stuff, we're seeing some North Vale stuff, Westerland stuff, and hopefully season 3 we will see the Reach. Yep, so that's Jason. I genuinely wonder how many casual viewers think that Jason and Tyland Lannister are the same person. I bet so many viewers think it's just the same guy. They're like, oh, that douchebag from that episode who tried to seduce Rhaenyra. He's on the council now. God, this dick.
spreads through the realm.
Oh yeah, and as there's Bran Stark as a raven, being creepy and spying on people. He's going to appear in front of Helena and be like, "You look beautiful the night Jaehaerys was beheaded." It's like, God, get out of here, Bran. No one likes you. Okay. Vhagar. Flying over... Oh, no, not Vhagar, sorry. Of course that's not Vhagar. That's Tiny. That's Moondancer. Pale green Moondancer. Ridden by Baela. So they're changing it from the books. They're having Baela be involved in Rook's Rest. Either she's like, hell yeah, I'm coming along with my mother, Rhaenys. We're going to come together and help the attack on Rook's Rest, and then obviously can't intervene with the war between the battle between Rhaenys and Aemond and Aegon, because Tiny Dragon would get eviscerated. Or maybe she's not allowed to go. Maybe they're like, no, you can't go, and then because Baela and Rhaena, Baela is the rebellious twin. Because when you have twins in fiction, one has to be rebellious and one has to be goody two shoes, right? They always have to be opposites, unless you're Jaime and Cersei. Quite similar, personality-wise. But anyway, it could be that Rhaenys goes off and Baela goes, screw you, I'm the rebellious one, and then she follows on. Like, she's not meant to go out, but she does. Or maybe she goes out. Maybe they're going to have it so that she goes out first. Like, fuck this, we need to use our dragons. And then they're like, no, Baela's gone, and Rhaenys is like, I'll go retrieve her. I know, that's a bit silly. But either way, Baela is joining.
Great houses.
Great houses. Great houses. Criston and Aegon staring down Otto. So yes, this is, again, I think this is when Otto gets fired. That's my opinion. The fact that Criston is there and Aegon looks, he's wearing that black outfit, which I think is supposed to symbolise mourning, and he's looking a bit out of it. And Otto is like, the great houses will come to our side. So he's conducting the War of Ravens. He's like, slow down. I'm sending out feelers. I'm going to get the Triarchy on my side. I can get Dorne on my side. I'm negotiating. And Aegon's like, fuck you. While you're negotiating, we've been sitting on our arse doing nothing, and my son was assassinated. Screw you. You're fired. You're fired. And Criston is going to be hired. And of course, Criston is right next to him. So he's going to turn around and be like, Criston, you're the new hand. So that's what this scene is, because Otto looks very desperate. He's like, no, listen. Diplomacy works. And he's like, no, it doesn't.
Will come to our side.
Yeah, he looks very desperate. I wonder, what's Otto going to do then? Because once he gets fired, his character does nothing. Once he's fired, he does nothing until the fall of King's Landing, where he is beheaded. So like, is the character just going to be like, fuck, I've lost all my power, or is he going to do more? I don't know. We'll see. Yes, I believe this is the Hightower army, just because they're wearing green and not red. I think they're wearing green. So, and we saw a shot in a previous trailer of like men in Hightower armor marching. So it's like the Hightowers are sending some troops to help us in King's Landing, and then we'll probably see what's his name? Segwayne Hightower. So, played by Freddie Fox. I think they're having Segwayne Hightower will be the leader of this faction of Hightower troops instead of being in the City Watch. Hey, and yeah, House Darklyn, House Stokeworth, House Rosby. They're going to be fighting with Team Aegon because yeah, I think it's, they take their castles, they take their lords, and they're like, you're fighting with us now. We've converted you. We are your, you are now Team Aegon. Because we see in previous trailers that we had all these shields, and then Aegon's golden dragon on green banner. So they're on Team Aegon now.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
Damn. Either maybe this is them discussing the sack of Duskendale. The trap. Maybe they're like, well, they've marched all their army out without dragons, and they're attacking Duskendale, and they're going on to Rook's Rest. And Daemon's like, oh, it looks like they're... No, at that point, Daemon would be at Harrenhal, wouldn't he? Daemon, not Daemon. Oh god, that's cursed. Yeah, Quinn says the Rosbys switched side like 3 times. Yeah. Hard to keep track of the Rosbys. But yeah, Rook's Rest is the seat of House Staunton, and in Season 1 we do see Lord Simon Staunton. He only has like 2 lines, but he's there. So I think he's gonna, he goes back to Rook's Rest to defend it, and then he gets executed. So we're probably gonna see him. Velaryon fleet, Velaryon soldiers.
Sail at your command.
Corlys. I don't know if he's giving like an emotional thing, like I support you all the way, Rhaenyra. My ships are at your command, or is he like pissed off? Is he like, my wife is dead, fuck you, but my ships sail at your command. You command them. I don't know. Is there like some antagonism there? Is there some kind of like grief? Caraxes.
The realm's only hope is in a leader strong enough to unite it.
That could be cool. What I said earlier about could this be with him saying that and Rhaenyra saying, "Do you accept me as your queen and ruler?" Is that Rhaenyra testing the waters to be like, hold on, you still support me, right? And Daemon's like, I want a strong leader. We need a strong leader to unite Westeros, and a civil war is breaking out, and it's because it's between a drunk young man and a woman. We need a strong Chad Dilf like myself, and then the realm will be united. So maybe I should be queen and we can rule jointly, but sorry. Daemon will not say I will be queen. Let me rephrase that. Daemon will say I will be king, and you can be my queen consort. Or it's just tricky editing.
Your queen and ruler.
See, he's not responding. It's like, oh. Corlys, the biggest cuck of all time. His wife fucking dies for Rhaenyra's cause. He's like, have my ships. Sunfire. Yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with Sunfire. I like the design, I don't like the colour. Aemond with the big chunky armour, clearly overcompensating for something. This is presumably him flying off to Rook's Rest. I imagine Aemond is in tow. Although he is by himself, so maybe like Aemond was like, I'm gonna do this myself, potentially. And then Aegon was like, no, I'm a king, I have to go out and face the people. I need to be brave, and so he flies off. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah. The Crownland army now on Team Aegon marching on. This has to be Rook's Rest. Well, it's either Duskendale or Rook's Rest. Yeah, because the only shields we can see here are Rosby right now. Yeah. So this could be them marching on Duskendale to sack it, or them marching on Rook's Rest to sack it. Thank you, Andre, for screaming the word Aegon in the chat. I don't know what that means, but that is in fact Aegon.
This senseless war must end.
Yes, Alicent talking about the war being senseless, urging caution. She's feeling guilt. She's seeing, well, she's understanding that it's spiraling out of control. The coup has turned into all-out civil war, and Aemon's like, yeah, well, toughen up. We've got to fight. So I think this series will be Alicent losing power and seeing the senseless violence and chaos, knowing that she's somewhat responsible and maybe sort of dissociating. And I don't know where the arc will go. Will it be by the end of it she's, screw this, I'm gonna make sure that I stay in power, I'm not gonna be pushed to the sidelines, or is it her being like, I give up? I called Aegon Aemond. Did I? I apologise. I often do that. I mean, earlier I called Daemon Daemond, so I think I'm just a bit tired. Yes, that was Aegon on a dragon, not Aemond.
Not like this.
Caraxes, presumably at Harrenhal. This is Daemon taking Harrenhal bloodlessly. It could also be Daemon taking Stonehenge, but I think it's probably Harrenhal. The vibes are more Harrenhal, aren't they? Dark and rainy.
Alicent told love for our enemy.
Aemond and Kristen having their little chat.
That makes her a fool.
Because of course Aemond goes on to become the regent, while Kristen is Hand, so they're kind of sewing that relationship in there early. This could be, honestly, this could be when he is regent. It could be the regent and Hand currently talking. This could be after Rook's Rest. Jason Cregan, yeah. all those reports that potentially there are going to be whites and stuff beyond the north. And I know it's Cregan being like, yeah, they're dead things. I'll support the ruler who's willing to unite the realm to fight this. Or is it like Jace is like, oh, my mum told me that there's a prophecy about the undead, and Cregan, that's why you should support us. And then they go to the wall to prove it. I don't know. I don't like that they're bringing the whites in. Please ignore that stuff, but it's too late. But oh well. Them being on the wall is cool though. Moondancer and Baylor, and yeah, there are horses behind her, and you can see Kristen's running, so it does look like there's a bunch of horse riders like trying to escape the dragon by riding into a forest. And it's like, okay, or is it like a trap? Is it like they're riding into the forest, but there's something waiting that can take dragons down or something? Yes, people are noting Aemond saying Alicent, not his mother. He's not saying mother thinks blah blah. He's going Alicent thinks this. Completely detached from his mother. Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that. Very nice. Oh, you're safe. Oh, that was a close one. You're safe now. You're in the woods. You're not going to get burnt to death. You're safe in the woods. You're protected by all the foliage and wood. You're safe. The bark will protect you from the dragonfire. Yeah, the Disheveled Rhaenyra, this has to be episode 1. Yeah, Quinn says we see Vhagar fly out of that forest in the first trailer. Oh, yeah, that has to be it. It has to be Vhagar's hide. Oh, I bet that's it. Vhagar and Sunfire are hiding in the forest, waiting for dragons to come. And then the army's like, oh, retreat, dragons. They retreat into the forest, and then boom! Surprise attack.
The enemy without.
Yeah, Kristen himself being the one to lead them into a trap is risky as fuck, considering he's the hand of the king, but he's quite headstrong. I can see him doing that. They could also, yeah, we'll see.
Maybe fought with swords.
And yeah, Aegon here looks. This has to be like this isn't him in his morning attire. Just to clarify, mourning with the U. The black outfit we see him in later when he's like, we need revenge. This is him wearing the green outfit with the gold dragons, which he wore in that shot going into the throne room. So I think this is directly after Blood and Cheese. I think this is him being told about Blood and Cheese, where he's opened up his outfit a bit and his hair's all scraggly and his face looks distraught. I think this is him being told, and he's like, oh god. This is obviously Cargill Bowl. I was deftly as this fella is blocking that sword, I was definitely trying not to spoil this. I was like, that could be Eric or Arik fighting someone, I guess. I don't know. But yes, that's either Eric or Arik fighting his twin. Cargill Bowl. Get hype. It could go either way in the books. In the book, I'm so used to just saying in the books. In the book, in Fire and Blood, there are a couple of stories. One is that it was very poetic, and they cried as they fought, and as they died in each other's arms, they professed their love and forgave each other, blah, blah, blah. And then the other story is they were just cursing each other, being like, fuck you, you piece of shit traitor, I'm going to kill you, I've always hated you, mum never loved you. And then so interesting to see what route they take, whether it's hateful or loving, or maybe just kind of brutal and neutral, and they just like hack each other to death. Yeah, Jaeger bomb. You're right. It's the third Jaeger bomb's finally hitting. The first two, he was like, "This is pleasant." This is like, boom. This is the third one's hitting, and he's realised he's only had a grain of rice for dinner. He's like, "Oh fuck." Old boy is hidden. Got the stimulant and the depressant clashing together straight away. I love a good Jaeger bomb. Back in the day when I was a uni student, that was my thing. That was my shot. Anyway. Daemon in his pajamas, with a baseball bat, being like, "Who's that? Get out of my house!" Yeah, I said earlier, Harrenhal's going to be like, there's going to be visions, there's going to be creepy, unexplained stuff happening, and it's all about going into Daemon's psyche, which is a great idea. Because what do you do with Daemon once he's in Harrenhal? There's not many people to interact with. There's Alice Rivers and Sir Simon Strong, who are interesting characters for sure, but there's not that much for him to do. He's kind of by himself when he's not talking to the other River Lords, which will happen later, right? So why not delve into his psyche? So that's quite cool. Maybe he's hearing things, and he's like walking and like, "Who is that? Is that you, Rhaenyra? Is that Viserys? Is that my brother? I don't know.
The enemy within is more resilient.
And then, okay, chat, who do we think this is? Aemond is resting shirtless, if not naked, in someone's lap. Who is this? Is this a prostitute? Is this Alice Rivers? You know, are we going to end the season with him taking Harrenhal? I'm not sure that adds up in the timeline, so it's probably not Alice Rivers. It could be. But is it Helena? Is it just, hey sister, I need to snuggle because you're the only one who will treat me, you know. You're the only one I can be honest and open around because everyone else I'm performing in front of. But I need to be... I'm a sensitive boy in front of you, and I know you won't tell anyone because, you know, you're borderline autistic and you care more about bugs than me, so I can just cry in your lap. I think that's... I'm going to say Helena. I think it's too early for Alice. Alice Rivers will be in this show, will be in this season, and she'll have scenes with Daemon in Harrenhal, but I think it's too early for Aemond to take Harrenhal, develop and develop a relationship with her. I think it's too early. Brown hair, it's going to be Alice. Where are you seeing brown hair?
The enemy without may be fought with swords. The enemy within is more resilient.
I'm not seeing brown hair. It's Daemon. He's like, Uncle, I wish I could be more like you. Daemon's like, shh, it's fine. He's banging some guy's wife. Yeah, it could just be someone random. Tyland, yeah, it's definitely, that's where Tyland Lannister is. He's not in the council. He's in Aemon's bedroom 24/7. The person has a ring, so it has to be Helena. Yes, is that like a marriage ring? Yeah, I don't know. My gut instinct is Helena, honestly.
Yes.
Oh, and then the leather fist crunching. I do wonder whose leather fist that is. Who wears gloves? Oh, I bet that's Aegon suiting up for Rook's Rest. I bet there's a scene where he's like superhero suiting up. There's a scene where he's like putting his armor on, he puts his gloves on, he's getting ready to ride. I bet that's it. Yeah, Archive says it's not on the ring finger, but again, do we know? Do marriage rings exist in Westeros culturally? And if they did exist, is there such a thing as the ring finger? Like, the Westerosi ring finger could be the middle finger, right? Maybe it's Larys. God damn it. Larys has wormed his way into Aemon's life as well. He's like, that's it, show me your feet. That's it, lie on my lap and get those piggly wigglies out. That's right, I'll tell you anything. I'll tell you all about the latest information I've gathered. And then this fucking awesome shot. Okay, let's properly... So we've got a dead body, some dead bodies, it looks like, a river or a puddle or a lake, and someone steps in and then the camera follows them. Who is this? And why is the camera... Is this someone literally... Is this someone, like... They're stepping in. This doesn't look like someone's, like, been hit or shot and is falling forwards. This is someone stepping into water. And then... Are they, like, fully falling into the water? Or are they just walking on it and the camera's moving? Because this looks like, to me, I feel like this could be Harrenhal and it's Daemon having a vision and, like, he goes into the water or some shit. I'm not sure. Either way, it looks cool. Yeah, some of the chat saying, April saying, you don't get a ring, you get the cloak change to marry. Yeah, I don't think wedding rings are a thing in Westeros. So we'll have to keep an eye out to see if Helena naturally has a ring on her middle finger. This is Alan of Hull. I can't believe I said Adam. Alan of Hull, the younger brother of Alan, and a Velaryon bastard. The question is, who's bastard? It's a mystery. In the book, it's a mystery. It's either Corlys or it's Laenor. I think based on the age, we can assume that's not Laenor's bastard. Like, yeah, no, that's not Laenor's bastard. That has to be Corlys's bastard. Which makes more sense too, considering Laenor's gay. Doesn't mean a gay man can't have bastards, but just the age adds up. It feels like Corlys, in a moment of weakness, maybe had a mistress and had a couple of kids. But then that calls into question, okay, how we know that Alan's older brother Adam becomes a dragon rider. Alan's brother Alan, is that what I said? God damn it, let me get this straight. So this is Alan of Hull. Alan's older brother Adam is a dragon rider, Adam of Hull. Adam Waters, basically. And if they have dragon riding blood, then people say they have to be Laenor's bastards, because Laenor is the son of Rhaenys. However, it could be that their mother is a dragon seed. Right? So Corlys could be the father, and their mother, who was called... What's their mother's name? Mouse? I think their mother's called Mouse. Mouse could be one of the many dragon seeds. Although, why would a dragon seed be on Driftmark? Well, I guess they could travel to Driftmark. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. Laenor was not homosexual. It was Mushroom's lie. Now, that is a hot take. Laenor not being gay is a hot take. Yeah, no. But yeah, he looks cool. Okay, chat, tell me, who is this? Because, like, I assumed it was Helena, but something feels off. Like, is that Helena? Are those Helena's eyes? Is that Helena? I can't tell. And I've seen other people saying that they don't think... Marilda, yeah, Marilda of Hull is her mother. Why did I say Mouse? Mouse of Hull? Why do I think their mother's called Mouse? What the fuck? Anyway, who is this? I'm so confused. Like, again, when I first watched the trailer, I was like, okay, that's Helena. But is it? The gaze almost looks too confident to be Helena. Like, Helena has a very sort of... She's quite shy. She's quite spaced out. She's in her own head. This woman looks very assertive. Almost given, like... bedroom eyes, you know. And there's 3 women, they're behind fans. Some people are saying they could be dancers, they could be prostitutes. I'm not sure. But for who? Like, what purpose do they serve in the plot? Is it just a sex scene for HBO? They're like, here we go, we got a fucking foursome going on, get some titties in there, boom. The quote is fulfilled. Boomla says, I don't know who she is, but she's hot. I agree. Jaehaera. That is not Helena's daughter, dude. In no universe is this Helena's 6-year-old daughter. Come on. Also, Helena's children are not even going to be as old as they are in the book, right? When we see Jaehaera and Jaehaerys in season 1 playing on the ground, they look like they're 4 years old. At most. Maybe 3. Preston Jacob subscribes to Laenor not having been gay. I disagree. I think Laenor is gay. I think, I think he's gay. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know, yeah. Anyway. Okay, Rhaena. I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to address the controversy, the controversial leak that's come out, which, unconfirmed, we don't know if it's true. Wait, let me just read a few more comments in the chat in terms of who people think that is. Hired to distract Aemon from blood and cheese. Oh, I see. Maybe they're yes. To distract, maybe they have strings being pulled to distract different people in the Red Keep, and maybe they have, maybe someone's hired a bunch of women to distract Aemon, and the woman in front looks suspiciously like Helena, and that's why he's convincingly distracted. And maybe after Aemon bangs them, that's him lying naked, looking upset because he's like letting his emotions out. Oh, maybe. Quinn says it's Alysanne. She survived. Oh, yeah, it's Alysanne Targaryen, everyone. She's there. It's fucking Sarah Targaryen, or whatever her name is. The one who became a prostitute. She's still alive. She's returned. Yes, so anyway. According to the unconfirmed leak, Rhaena is basically taking the role of Nettles in the Dance of the Dragons. So Nettles is the one of 4 dragon seeds who rides Sheepstealer, a wild dragon. Apparently, she hasn't been seen at all in any trailers or teasers. We don't know any casting stuff. Apparently, Rhaena is filling that role. So it might not be true, but according to the leak, she will be riding Sheepstealer. She'll be the 4th dragon seed, I guess, but she won't be a dragon seed because she's legitimate, right? So there's a lot to unpack here. Let's straight off the bat, I knew that this could happen, which makes me better than you. No, I suspected something like this could be true. Even in season 1, because there's a bit in episode 10 that it burned into my brain. I almost did a video about this, but I never did back in the day. Excuse me. There's a bit in the finale of season 1 where Daemon's going through all the dragons, and he's like, and we have a bunch of unclaimed dragons. And when he says unclaimed, Rhaena goes from looking, she's looking at the floor because Daemon's talking about all the dragons, like, I have a dragon, Baela has a dragon, etc. And Rhaena's just looking down, and he's like, and there are unclaimed dragons. And it cuts to Rhaena looking up, and I'm like, why would you have that shot? We know Rhaena doesn't have a dragon, she's insecure about it. You could just have the shot of her being like, oh, an unclaimed dragon, maybe I could do that, and then it doesn't go anywhere. But from the start, I thought, I bet they're doing something. I bet she could fulfill that role. And I did actually think about making a video, being like, I think Rhaena could replace Nettles. But then Kevin Pendragon already made that video, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have anything else to add. So what does this... How should we approach this? So there are 3 things to consider. 1 is Rhaena as a character, 2 is Nettles as a character, and 3 is Mourning the dragon. So first off, Rhaena. This does give Rhaena more to do. Giving her the role of Nettles, she becomes a dragon rider, she takes part in fighting, maybe she has a close relationship with Daemon. Hopefully it's not sexual. Hopefully it's a wholesome father-daughter relationship, so we can get more of that out of Daemon. Because they made a point out of the fact that Daemon is distant with Rhaena in season 1, which isn't in the book, right? They make it that like Baela's his favourite kid, and he kind of ignores Rhaena a bit because she hasn't got a dragon. So maybe that was set up in advance for Daemon and Rhaena having that close relationship. Not sexual, but a close, genuine father-daughter bond, humanise Daemon a bit, etc. And, we could have scenes of her taming Sheepstealer with sheep and all that stuff. So, pros and cons. Pros, Rhaena gets more to do. She has more of a role. She has more scenes with her father. And we get to expand a character who, otherwise isn't really doing anything. Now, the cons, people would refute that by saying, hold on, if you want to give her more to do, she's moving to the Vale this season. Give her more to do in the Vale. Have her interact with Lady Jane Arryn more. Have her get involved in Vale politics or something. But yeah, I understand the move. I understand that they're giving her more. They're giving her more to do beyond just sitting in the Vale for the whole war. Because Rhaena's character is kind of pointless. She kind of exists to just because George wanted there to be twins. Oh, there we go, Baela and Rhaena. So. Is it cool for Rhaena's character? Yes. Am I excited for the actress to do some fun stuff? Yes. Am I excited to learn more about Rhaena because she's basically a non-character in the book? Yes. But what about Nettles? So Nettles has a big fan base. I like Nettles. Nettles is cool. The idea is cool. The idea of like a mixed race young woman of ambiguous origin being like, I'm going to tame a dragon. Everyone's like, yeah, no, you're going to get eaten up. And then she finds a sort of, like her, she's kind of scruffy and downtrodden. She finds a kind of scruffy, downtrodden wild dragon, and she tames it with sheep. She gets sheep for it, and she gets a little bit closer each time to the dragon while it's feasting, to the point where she can go up and stroke it and tame it and talk to it, and then she rides it. So the idea of the character is really cool. And she has a big fan base and a load of people who really love her. I'm not super attached to her. I'm not like, people are going to be super mad about this, and they have every right to be mad about Nettles being erased because they love Nettles, right? For me, I'm like, I don't really care that much. I can do without Nettles. And I'm okay with Rhaena having an expanded role. It does call into question what the rift between Daemon and Rhaenyra will be, where Rhaenyra's like, you're spending time with Nettles, and Nettles is a dragon seed, and we can't trust them because Hugh Hammer and Ulf the White betrayed me. and you're just cavorting with her and you're sleeping with her, and you know you're both planning to betray me, kill her to prove your loyalty because she's going a bit crazy at the end. I never liked that plot point. Rhaenyra's suddenly going crazy. I didn't like it. I hope that, you know, Rhaenyra's not going to believe that Daemon's sleeping with his daughter, so hopefully their breakup, their split, and Daemon's eventual kamikaze suicide thing is a bit more interesting than basically Rhaenyra being jealous. Although, who knows, maybe Rhaenyra in the show will go a bit crazy and be like, oh my god, you are sleeping with your daughter because you slept with your niece, so yeah, I would believe you're sleeping with your daughter, you sicko. I don't trust her. I don't know. But yeah, basically, I fully understand why people are pissed off. Personally, I'm fine with it, but I'm not going to argue against someone who hates the change because I'm like, no, I get it. Like, I understand why you would. And then, of course, mourning. The dragon mourning. The whole point is that, like, almost all the dragons are wiped out, and then you have a new dragon that's born, Mourning, and Mourning is the last dragon, right? Is Mourning the last dragon, or one of the last? And that's Rhaenyra's dragon. She can't get a dragon, but it finally hatches at the end of the war. Dawn after the war, you know, sunrise after the night. Morning after the night would have made more sense to say, right? Because it's morning. Anyway, but yeah, how can you have, if she has a dragon, Sheepstealer, like, are you going to kill Sheepstealer off and then she hatches Mourning? Does someone else hatch Mourning? Does Mourning never hatch and they're going to canonically make it in the show universe that all the dragons, literally all of them die in this war and that's it? I don't know. Another thing that Quinn the GM mentioned is, like, you know, Nettles is super interesting. You have 4 dragon seeds. You have Adam of Hull, interesting. Nettles, interesting. Hugh Hammer, interesting. Ulf the White, he's just Hugh Hammer's treacherous accomplice. Why not merge Hugh Hammer and Ulf the White? Why have a evil blacksmith when you can make him an evil drunk blacksmith? So, yeah, I get that. Like, why not merge Hugh Hammer and Ulf and have Nettles? But then I guess maybe they were like, because we want someone to ride Silverwing. I don't know. Let's see what the chat has to say, because, like, I'm not super invested in Nettles, but I know that people are, and I appreciate that, so I want to see what people have to say. Excuse me. And I will also say, I think some people might not like the fact that, you know, a young black female character is being replaced with another young black female character as a kind of, oh, we've already got one, let's use this one, you know? I don't think that's the intention at all, and, you know, that's not how I feel, but I can appreciate that some people might feel that way. Yes. Someone's saying, I better see Daeron and Tessarion. Yeah, if Daeron, I would be pissed, because Nettles, I can cope without Nettles, or not without Nettles, but Nettles' role being replaced. Daeron, like, who would replace his role? Like, you need Daeron. We want to see that Reach campaign. We want to see Lord Hightower and all that lot. We want to see, like, the kid who grew up right, like a likable Targaryen on Team Green. I don't think he's getting cut. I think we can survive. Daeron will survive. A poll. Andre suggests a poll. Great idea, Andre. Let's do a poll. Oh, whoopsie. There we go. So here is the poll. Do you? I guess what is the poll exactly? Are we saying? We're saying, like, do you agree with the change? Do you agree with the change? So the change in question being Rhaena Nettles. So yes, no, and then I'll also have a kind of neutral, which is where I am. So the poll is started. Go into the chat to check out the poll, to vote in the poll. Be interesting to see what people have to say. Do you agree with the change, Rhaena taking over Nettles' role? Yes, no, or are you neutral? And I'll check out the results in a bit, but let's continue the trailer. We went off on our big Rhaena tangent.
There is more than one way.
So there's Mysaria, the White Worm. With the accent toned down, that's so funny. So yeah, Mysaria is now working for the Blacks as their spy master. She's their unofficial mistress of whispers. And it's interesting, in all the small council scenes, we still don't see Laris on the council. So he's still not officially Master of Whisperers. He's probably going to be the unofficial Master of Whisperers.
To fight a war.
Ah, and speaking of blood and cheese, which we weren't speaking of, is that blood and cheese? Wait, no, hold on. Is that a dog? Wait, what? Wait. Hold on, what the fuck? More than one way to fight war. Okay, there's a man with a dog in a tunnel. At first thought, I thought this was like blood, right? Like big bearded guy. And like this shot, we have, guy with a beard in a cell. The implication is it's blood and cheese. They're looking around. They're preparing for their assassination. Is that the same guy? Why have they got a dog? The hell? Is that a dog? That's a dog, right? Am I going crazy? Yeah, the wagging tail. Wait, blood and cheese and a dog? Cheese is played by a dog. Blood and cheese is just like a big bulky City Watch member and then his pet dog. Mushroom lied. The history's lied. History's written by the victor. They never told you that cheese was a dog all along. So it's blood and cheese and Fang, I think. That's the trio. Okay, yeah. Why the fuck do you have a dog? I don't know, but there we go. It's a guard. It's for the rats. It's a shadow. It's not a shadow. It's a dog. Whoops. That's a dog, right? Am I going crazy? The great dog analysis of 2024. That is a dog with a waggy tail. Although that might not be cheese. This might be someone else walking, and then it's cut in with blood or cheese to like confuse us. I don't know. Either way, I spent too long on that dog. last seen a dog. Okay. Schmexy time. Well, first off, a coin is being dropped. This has to be someone being paid for smuggling Daemon into King's Landing, right? That's what I think it is. Before he plans blood and cheese. Okay, this. Oh, it's all coming together. I forgot about this shot. So something tells me that's not Helena. What if that is the prostitute? If someone said that someone sent prostitutes to distract Aemond, what if they sent someone who looks like Helena, and then this is Aemond banging Helena while blood and cheese is happening? Or it could be actually Helena and it's like Aemond and Helena actually getting together. Or maybe it's Aegon and Helena getting together. Either way, I'm not sure who else this would be. Aegon and Helena, it could be. Aegon and Helena actually banging for once. Maybe he's not drunk this time. Someone said that's Viserys' ring. Is it? If it's Viserys' ring, that's probably Aegon then. Although those hands look kind of old for Aegon. That could be Aegon and Helena actually doing the do. I don't know. Emma Arryn. Oh, well, like Emma Arryn and Vizzy T flashback? I don't see the point in that. And then what's this? Who's got this dagger? Who's holding a dagger and then it gets grabbed? Is someone's holding a dagger behind them and someone else grabs it? Is this blood and cheese? And then we have the King's Landing riot because they won that food. This is not the funeral procession because she's not wearing black, she's wearing green. She's like, oh, run away. And we've got Kingsguard. So earlier I said that's Harold Westerling, but some people said no, there's a new actor for Rickard Thorne, or not a new actor. There is an actor for Rickard Thorne who is a bearded bloke, so that could be Rickard Thorne. Actually, looking at this frame, that doesn't look like Harold Westerling, does it? The face looks different. Okay. Is that a Black Kingsguard in the back. Maybe Harold Westerling leaves and Eddard Waters becomes a Kingsguard. That could be a fun little... Yeah. And there's Helena and Alicent fleeing the mob. I don't think this is a funeral procession because they're not wearing black. Like, they're wearing green. I'm pretty sure the shots of them at the funeral, they are wearing, like... They do... You're right, they have the veils, but the veils might just be what they're wearing post Blood and Cheese in mourning, right? I don't know. Where is Harold, someone asks. That's a good question. Where is Harold? I don't know where Harold is. Shall I stop the poll now? How's the poll doing? So, 123 people have voted. Do you agree with the change? 46% say no, they don't agree with Rhaena taking Nettle's role. 31% say they're neutral like me, and 23% say yes, they do like the change. So that's a quite a nice split. But it appears that most people are like no, which is what I suspected. So yeah, we're nearing the end of this trailer, and when we get to the end, I will answer super chats and Streamlab donations. So if you still want to send anything in, there's plenty of time. I genuinely appreciate it. Let's continue. Yeah. That does look like Crimby Cole with a helmet. You see that stubble. Crimby Cole, Rook's Rest, Dragons wreaking havoc. Rhaenys on Meleys. Meleys looks so cool. And then there's the castle in the background we saw earlier. So that must be Rook's Rest, I think. So this is Meleys being like, hell yeah, let's destroy this army before surprise Vhagar and surprise Sunfire appear to cook her. There's Meleys. There's a cool shot. Aemond's probably Rook's Rest. Yeah, the dragon's not looking happy.
War is coming.
War is coming. And then, yeah, that's definitely Vermithor. So that could be her basically showing the dragon seed, because there's going to be all these contestants, right? All these self-proclaimed Targaryen bastards of various degrees being like, we can claim a dragon and fight for you. This could be Rhaenyra being like, hey, look, Vermithor, who wants to claim Vermithor? And then people get fucking roasted, and then Hugh Hammer's like, get out my way. You're mine, Vermithor. Vermithor's like, oh, I like this guy's style, man. Get on my back. Yeah. That's not Syrax. Why did I say that was Syrax? Fake fan. It's coming June 16th. June 16th, I have to make a trailer breakdown and 5 animated videos. I can do it. If I work hard, I can do it. So that was the trailer. I really enjoyed it. Let's pause on a fun shot, and then I will answer some super chats and some Streamlab stuff. Let's have Daemon looking really unimpressed, because that's funny. No super chats for this stream. That's fine. Let's check Streamlabs. Let's see if I can open. I'm gonna get an. I've been saying this for a while. I'm going to get a proper SSD attached to my, because every time I stream through Streamlabs, the stream crashes, so I keep having part 1 and part 2s, and I didn't want to do it for this video, so I am going through OBS, so I need to open up Streamlabs to see it. Okay, thank you for the tip from Boombler, who said, it wouldn't be a Fantasy Haven stream if I didn't ask you to do Kermit and Littlefinger voice lines. Love you, Haven. Love you too, Boombler. How did I know when Boombler when he said he sent a tip? How did I know? Okay. So first off, what would Littlefinger have to say about House of the Dragon? Would he be on Team Green or Team Black or perhaps Team Chaos? I think he'd be on Team Chaos, because for Littlefinger, Chaos is a ladder. He'd be on whichever team had Shanja. Maybe he'd listen to Myzeria's accent and say, mine is stranger. Maybe he'll watch Rhaenys destroy a crowd and say, I'm a bit confused. There we go, that's all you get. That's all the bullshit you get. I can't do any more Littlefinger, I'll destroy my throat. And of course, Boombler asked me to do the Kermit voice. Unfortunately for everyone involved, We know that the Muppet Tullys might be in this season. We know that there is a Lord Grover who's quite fickle. His grandson is Lord Elmo, and his two sons are who are his sons? Oscar and Kermit. That's it, Kermit and Oscar. Yeah, so you have a Kermit Tully, who is later on in the show, in the book, he creates a little group called the Lads. It's Kermit Tully, his brother Oscar Tully, and a Blackwood. Yeah, Benjicott Blackwood. And they're the Lads, and they march to King's Landing. We gotta go to King's Landing, guys. Yeah, the Muppet Tullys. Yeah, so funny. It's not funny, George. It's not funny, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's disrespectful. And the fact that there are going to be motherfuckers on my screen called Kermit infuriates me. The fact that there's going to be a kid rocking up on screen being like, I'm Kermit. George is going to be giggling to himself in fucking New Mexico going, hey. And it's going to be like, I'm going to be throwing bricks at my TV screen like, no. The Muppet Tullys aren't funny. They're not cute. They're not whimsical. They're just annoying. They're just distracting. I'm the only one who feels this way. People love the Muppet Tullys like there's some kind of like, oh, that was genius of George to make them all Muppets. I'm not going to have it. No, I refute. Chaos is the ladder. Shall I do a swap? Shall I do a Kermit Littlefinger swap? What's a classic? Okay, let's swap it. It's not easy being green. I should know. I'm Kermit the Frog. Shanja. So that's Littlefinger as Kermit. If we want Kermit as Littlefinger, then we've got... Yeah. Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder. Yeah. I've lost like 50 viewers since I started doing impressions, so that's fun. There we go, Boombler. You got your fucking impressions. You got your money's worth. Who's next? Thank you, LJ. Another great patron of mine. Who has tipped some money. Thank you. LJ said, I've been watching your old stuff whilst off from work because of an accident, so enjoying my money. Thanks so much, LJ. Let me know either in here or the Patreon Discord which stuff you've been rewatching. Which videos are considered good from me. I hope you're okay. I don't know what accident that was. My advice to not get into a workplace accident is to not be a little bitch, personally. There we go. I will be going through streaming through Streamlabs once I have that SSD card. Because obviously... sorry, I get distracted. Because obviously I want to be able to stream through Streamlabs and have the chat up without crashing every 5 minutes. Do Varys as Elmo. What's a classic Varys line? No, I can't do that. I can't do Elmo. I can't do Elmo. I don't know what Elmo sounds like. I didn't grow up on Sesame Street. We didn't really have that in the UK. I know what Kermit looks like because I know about the Muppets, but okay, right, all right. So before we wrap up the streams, what are the plans for the future of Fantasy Haven? So first up, there are going to be some live streams. I'm going to be live streaming with Quinn. We'll be looking at final words of every character, kind of ranking last words, I think was the idea. We'll also be putting a Song of Ice and Fire characters on trial on his channel. That's been fun. Independently, of course, I had lots of success with the ranking a Song of Ice and Fire sigils, right, the tier list. So I might do a house motto tier list. That could be quite fun. And in terms of non-live streams, in terms of actual videos, there will be a trailer breakdown coming out. There may be some special thing I'm doing with Quinn, and I won't reveal it, but if we do them, then that's 10 videos that I hope to push, release before House of the Dragon. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, when House of the Dragon drops, there'll be live streams, there'll be reviews, and because I've been working, I haven't been posting much, I've been working on some content behind the scenes. I've been working on some house histories. If you're a patron, you know what the videos are, but I've been working on some animated lore. You'll be getting reviews, breakdowns, live streams, and animated lore during Hot D. You're going to have your bellies full. It's going to be a very exciting time for the channel. And once House of the Dragon is over, I will, I'll go back to doing some more book versus show and house histories, but I'm also going to expand a bit more. So I did my Dune Part 1 book versus film, I can do part 2, and I can do the Denis Villeneuve, and I can start diving into other fantasy stuff, like, you know, Memory, Sorrow and Thorn from the books. You know, video games. Maybe I can dive into some Witcher lore, dive into some God Hears lore, right? CK3, loads of stuff. But for now, I think, thank you for watching. I can't believe there are still 200 people listening to me wrapping up the live stream. That's pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And remember, do I have a motto? What was my motto? What's like a good sign-off motto? At the start of my videos back like a year ago, I used to be like, "Welcome to Fantasy Haven, your home for all things fantasy." Yeah. I've kind of ditched that, but what's a good outro? Keep on havening. Keep on rocking in the free world, and do.